Because I have that tech background, I've always wanted to simplify the tech down. Out of everything that you can do with online marketing, video is the easiest thing to leapfrog you to the top of the Google search results. I used StreamYard from the get-go. It was the very first live stream tool that I used. And literally, I found it and I went, oh my gosh, this is so easy. Why would I want to use anything else? It's important to have good quality sound. Even if your lighting's not that great, but it's the sound. People can be forgiving if you look fuzzy or even if you stutter a little bit, but if your sound is off, people will bounce.
Hello, welcome to the Confident Live Marketing Podcast. I'm Ian Ansegray, and in this episode, we're going again behind the scenes with a special guest, looking at their studio, what they've got in terms of the tech, how they got it set up, how they got started. I'm very excited because I met my guest today, I think 3 months ago at the Uplift Live conference, which is all about LinkedIn. And she was speaking there all about how to use LinkedIn Live. Well, it's Gillian Whitney, who is a live stream strategist and coach who makes live video easy peasy, or video easy peasy. She hosts a weekly LinkedIn live show and is the author of 2 books. As a digital nomad, Gillian is a citizen of 4 countries, but contrary to any rumors, she's not a spy. Well, that's what she says. Well, welcome to the show, Gillian. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm so excited to be here.
Well, it's great to have you. I was very excited to meet you in person in Birmingham in the UK at the Uplift Live conference. And I was really taken by your talk because you just make the whole idea of video and live video in particular easy peasy. Because for so many people, even today, even though live video has been around for ages, it still is a very, very scary thing for people. I want to ask you though, the 4 countries, what are those 4 countries that you are a citizen of? Because that's quite a number.
I know. So I was born in Canada. I am a British born abroad because both my parents are from England. I am a United States naturalized citizen, and I'm also an Israeli. So those are my 4 citizenships, and I have the passports to prove it.
Awesome. Well, obviously you do a lot of traveling. I've heard about that, and you're currently in the US. I think is it Las Vegas? Is that where you are now?
Actually, this week I'm in Phoenix. So I'm always, where am I this week? So my business is based in Las Vegas,
Yeah.
but I'm always on the go. So when people say, what's your home studio? I go, I don't have a home because I live in corporate apartments and we go from basically city to city and we travel all across the United States. So my studio is in a suitcase.
Well, this is going to make this show really interesting because often we talk about going behind the scenes of a studio and we assume that studio is like it's static. But for you, your studio moves around with you. It has to be moving around. So before we get on to your studio, I'd love to know a little bit more about you. I obviously I talked about a little bit from your bio, but what's your background? And I was going to ask what makes your studio setup unique. We've already talked about the fact that it has to be mobile, but any more thoughts on that before we get into the detail?
So what makes my studio unique, or a bit about my background? Which
well,
one?
a bit about your background, and then I'll be a better interviewer. I will ask you one question at a time. Let's talk briefly about your history of how you got into what you're doing today.
Okay, so I'll give you the quick version. So by my very nature, I am a tech writer who became a computer trainer, and I love teaching people how to do things. And I think because I have that tech background, I've always wanted to simplify the tech down. So I got into online marketing and I found that out of everything that you can do with online marketing, video is the easiest thing to sort of leapfrog you to the top of the Google search results, because that's what we all want to be. We want to be found. We want to be visible. And so I leaned into video, especially LinkedIn video, and I got very good at it, but I found it was still complicated. And meanwhile, I got access to LinkedIn Live early and I started going live. And I actually found that going live is easier than recorded video. So that's what I'm all about now. The easiest way to do video. And in my opinion, it's by doing a live.
You know, it's weird, isn't it? Why should going live be easier? But I went down the same way, and I'm interested to know why you think that. But because for me, I'm a recovering perfectionist, so like I kept on re-recording. I'd get it wrong. I'd stumble over my words, and then I'd have to press stop, start again. I'd never get anything done. Whereas with live, it's kind of like the perfect antidote to perfectionism, because the thing is, you're going to get it wrong. You're going to stumble over your words. I've already messed up today in asking you too many questions at once. And it doesn't matter. And I feel it's only now, after years and years and years of doing live video, that I actually feel confident enough to do what we're doing now, which is actually pre-recording this. And if we make mistakes, just say, look, it's all right. We're going to keep going. What are your thoughts on that?
It's exactly the same thing. It's when we, pick up our phone and we start trying to record using our phone, we do take after take after take. And then all of a sudden you've got like 50 phone, videos, and you're like, I don't even know which ones are good. I don't even want to do it anymore. And usually you end up doing no video. But when you go live, you just hit the go live button. You just say, live is forgiving. My audience, that's what's important. And knowing your audience is on the other side of the camera, it makes you less self-conscious, and it makes you, just allows you to be a real human being. And in these
Mm.
days of AI, it's important to be a real human being.
I couldn't agree more. And I think actually we might have seen a bit of people using live video less in the last maybe 2 years. But I think, like you, that I think we're going to get more of it, because people want people. And with AI,
Mm.
I think we're going to see that a lot more. Love what you said. It's all about the people. It's about the people watching. And sometimes I think we can get almost a little bit, not self-obsessed, but we're so worried about everything going wrong that we kind of look inwards instead of actually at the people watching. And I think live video can take you out of yourself. We could talk about this forever, but I do want to dive into your studio setup. So let's do that. And tell us about your audio and your microphone. Why did you choose what you've got? And tell us why you went for that.
So I have a Blue Yeti. It's just reliable and dependable, and it just fits nicely in the suitcase. So a lot of the things are, will it fit in the suitcase? And my suitcase is, think of a carry-on bag with feet. So it's a little bit bigger than a carry-on bag. So everything has to fit in the suitcase, and the Yeti comes in a nice box and it's protected, and it's always giving me good sound. So I'm happy with my Yeti, and I can plug my microphone into it, and my headphones into it, so that I can hear and speak all at the same go.
Yeah, and I think the Blue Yeti is great because it's USB, so you don't have to have any fancy mixers or audio interfaces. You can plug it straight in, and it's quite rugged as well. I mean, it's quite a beefy little thing. Well, it's not even, I don't want to say it's little. It's quite beefy, but it's still
It's heavy.
portable. It's quite heavy. But you've got it, and you've got it. You've not got it right up close like my microphone, but you don't have it out of shot either. It's kind of, I think that's maybe why sometimes the Yeti gets a bad rap, because people they almost like put it at the other end of the room and they expect good quality. So you've obviously spent a bit of time getting the right setup for it. Have you got any tips on, if people have a Blue Yeti, on how to use it in the best way?
Well, you have to get it close to you. So that's one thing. And it has to be in the shot. So don't try and put it to the side, because you're not going to do it. And always talk into the front of the big Blue Yeti and not the top. So that's one thing that's really important. And make sure that on the back, you dial into the one that looks like a peanut, because that's the one that's going to pick up just the front sound.
Really great advice there. Yeah, and so like every microphone's different. With the microphone I've got, I speak into the end of it, but all microphones are different. So Blue Yeti, it's the side of the front bit of it. So that's cool. Blue Yeti, camera. Because I have to say, like you were saying to me before we started, like, does it look okay? And I thought, wow, it looks amazing. You've got amazing backdrop. Your camera looks great. Tell us a little bit more about your camera and why you chose what you've got.
Okay, so it's a Logitech Brio, and I like this camera, one, because I think it has really good, it just has really good resolution, but also the frame rate is higher than a regular webcam. And I wanted to do that because I use StreamYard and I only stream at 720p because I can't always know that I'm going to be in a place that can handle 1080 because I'm traveling. I have to
Hmm.
just kind of hope that the internet's going to be good enough. I always have a wired connection, of course. So I'm finding that going at 720p for me and my guests is the best way. Logitech Brio has the best frame rate to go at a 720p.
That's really interesting. And the Brio, I think, am I right in saying you can go up to 4K if you want, but
Mhm,
if you're going
mhm.
to stream to LinkedIn, and I haven't looked at this for ages, maybe you can correct me on this, but I think the max you used to be able to stream to LinkedIn was 720 anyway. So if you're going to go live to
I
1080,
think you can do 1080. I
so
think you
they've
can do
upgraded.
1080.
Okay, so but like I think if the 1080p and you can go live at 1080p, but if your connection is all over the place, that's just not going to help anyone. So
No, so that's why I
yeah,
bring it down to 720. It's much
yeah,
more reliable.
yeah, that's cool. So that's the Brio, and the great thing about that is again, it's portable, so that's really helpful. So lighting, lighting looks great where you are. Tell us a bit about what you do there.
Just a standard ring light. It's a send sign ring light, and it just folds up into a small little box and fits into the suitcase as well. So nothing fancy, no 3-point lighting here, one light, and it's a ring light. And I also have a backup bulb just in case.
Yeah, you know what? It's really important to talk about the backups because when things go wrong, like for example, like I mean, not wanting to kind of say anything horrible, but like what if your microphone stopped working or your camera? Have you got any kind of like backup plans when it comes to this kind of thing?
Absolutely. I have a backup for everything. So I
Mm.
have a second webcam, which is always available. I also always have my phone nearby because that's also can back up as like either an internet hotspot or it can serve as a webcam as well. I have a lavalier mic and I think it's called a Boya, which is a really
Oh
good
yeah,
wired in lavalier like with like the longest cord in history. It's like amazing. So I have that as well. I have two computers because you just never know when your computer's going to go. And I have two ring light bulbs as well. And I always have lots of lamps nearby in a pinch too. So I have two of everything because if you don't have two of everything, you could have nothing.
such a good point. And that yeah, that lavalier mic, I think it's called the BYM1, if it's the same one I'm thinking about,
Yes.
and it's got this really really long cable. But yeah, I mean the camera thing is I've had problems with this camera that I'm using at the moment that it keeps switching off. I think it's to do with the heating. It overheats. So at the moment I'm kind of fiddling around with trying to get other cameras. I'm playing around with this little one here, which is I think OBSBot or OBS bot. And but do you know what? Your phone, you mentioned your phone. The phone cameras these days are amazing. So having that as a either use your main camera as a backup is so good. So that's really, really helpful advice because we don't want stress on our lives, do we? So if we have a backup, it's good.
No,
So
no.
that's lighting. Let's talk about computer. You mentioned you got two computers. Um, you only obviously use one at the same time. I do know some people that kind of have these ridiculously complicated setups where they're using multiple computers, but it's just one computer at a time. Tell us a bit about your computers, and any other kind of devices that you use with those.
Okay, so I
Hmm.
use a MacBook Pro. It's probably about maybe 2 years old, and I use this for all my work. So I just use it as my standard work computer. I also use it as my live computer, but I have the other MacBook Pro that I had before this, which is maybe 4 years old, which is stripped. It has nothing on it except it's all set up with the latest version of Chrome. It has StreamYard ready to go so I can log into StreamYard and it's just clean and neat and nothing is on it. And I make sure that it's always updated because if I need to use it in a pinch, I don't want to be doing any kind of like Mac OS updates or something like that. So I found it is good to have that second computer handy.
Yeah, definitely. And this is the concern that I have. So I'm using a Mac Mini, an M1 Mac Mini, which is great, but my MacBook Pro is starting to get a little bit old now, and starts to the fans start to whir a little bit when you load up any software. So always good to have a backup. Now you mentioned you use StreamYard as your live streaming software, which is great piece of software. It actually works in the browser, doesn't it? So you don't even have to download any extra software.
Right.
Tell us a little bit about why you use StreamYard, why you like it so much, and are there any other kind of bits of software that you use together with that? I'm thinking maybe here for like any repurposing side of things. What do you tend to use?
So I love StreamYard. I used StreamYard from the get-go. It was the very first live stream tool that I used. And literally I found it and I went, oh my gosh, this is so easy. Why would I want to use anything else? So I stuck with StreamYard and I've been live streaming for 3 years now. What I like about StreamYard is you can customize it. I like that you can use it from a browser so that when I was over in the UK for Uplift Live, I stayed on for 6 weeks. I was able to actually live stream from my phone and I was live streaming from train stations and all sorts of different places, which is not something I would ever recommend anybody do first day. It's a second day skill to live stream and it's not quite as reliable as a computer, but StreamYard allowed me to do that I could be mobile and stream just from a phone.
Yeah, it's amazing and it's so easy. Yet they've kept it easy, but they have added lots of extra features. And so one of the things I really love about StreamYard from a repurposing point of view is so it actually can record the video of your guest on their end. So if you have any connection
Mm.
issues, you've got that. And it's records separate video, so it'll record my video and my guest's video. So again, for repurposing side of things is good, but it's just really simple. You give your guest a link, and you're all good to go. So I want to go on to about your workspace and personalization. So this is something I'm always interested in because I think we all want to create a studio space that is uniquely ours. That may be for two reasons, really. I think this can help foster creativity, but also productivity. But I'm particularly interested in your setup because it changes all the time. And so, like for example, your backdrop and your lighting. I mean, I know you have a light, but the lighting will kind of change around you, and the space. Maybe sometimes you have a very big space, sometimes you have a very small space. So tell us a little about that and how you make the studio space that you're in uniquely yours.
Well, I'm very lucky in that wherever our corporate apartment is, there's always a desk. So I've always got a desk to work with. I also have a laptop stand because it's very important for your computer and your camera to be at eye level. So you just kind of never know, okay, which desk am I going to be working with? If you have a laptop stand that is foldable, gets in the suitcase, of course, but it also allows you to adjust it to whatever eye level you need it to be. So that is key. The second thing is my backdrop behind me. I wanted to have a consistent look for all my live streams because I go live every single week and I never know what's going to be behind me. Is it going to be pictures or a plain white wall, or maybe it's going to be a window? I don't know. So what I did was I bought a photography backdrop and I just put it up with painter tape, that blue painter tape. And I just walk into an apartment, I unroll it and I stick it up with my blue painter tape. And then when I'm done, I roll it back up into the tube and off we go.
And I mean, it's so cool because I mean, it looks real, and it's nice and bright. It adds a little bit of, I don't know, there is something fun about it as well. And in terms of like your personality and how do you think it's important to have like a background that mirrors your or kind of
Yes.
mirrors your personality a little bit? What would you
Oh,
say to
and
viewers?
I'm a big book nut. I love books. So when I saw this one, it resonated for me to see all the different books and pictures. And when I actually had a house several years ago, I had tons of bookcases all over my house. So this resonated for me, but you can find photography backdrops that are a window and plants and, doors leading to, like, I don't know, a beautiful blue sea in the background. You can find one that meets your personality. You could get one that would maybe just be a red brick wall because you're just kind of like a cool person that wants a red brick wall. So you can do whatever you want. There's so many different kinds out there, and you just find the one that gives you that consistent look. And this was it for me.
Do you know what? I think that's a really great tip because, I mean, I'll be honest with you, in setting up my background, I, well, it's been a journey. It's been I was really conscious of, like, my old house. We had a kind of like a white wall, and then so I used a green screen, and that didn't go well. And then this one has taken ages to kind of, because I was overthinking it. But you know what? Why not just get a photo background like you have, and then you can find one that kind of is matches what you want, that's fun and engaging, and it's just really easy, and you're not overthinking it. So I think that's a great tip for people. Don't overthink things. Just start, because at the end of the day, if you overthink it, you're not going live and you're not communicating with your audience. So get rid of all that overthinking.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I even have a backup. I bought 2 of these. So I have a backup, and I took a photograph of this, and I have it in StreamYard as a virtual background. So if I
Oh,
ever got stuck somewhere, I could flip it up as a virtual background. But I don't do well with a virtual background because I have curly hair. Curly haired people don't
no.
do well on. No, we look weird.
Yeah, but you've got that as a backup. I think that's brilliant. I love the fact that you've thought about everything, because again, it's coming back to that we don't want that stress and that anxiety in our lives. So you've got all those backups. When you press go live, you know that things might go wrong, but if they do go wrong, you've got a backup plan. And I'm sure you've got backup plans or backup plans or backup plans as well. So let's talk about when things do go wrong, challenges. And so, like, have there been any hurdles that you've encountered when setting up your studio? Maybe share some of
Oh,
those
of
things.
course, of course. That's kind of why I had to get all the backups, because I think one time I went live and I always test everything a half an hour before I go live just to make sure everything is all set up. Then I'll walk away and have a cup of coffee, and I'm an introvert, so I'll kind of calm down a little bit. But one time my ring light literally just went out, and I was like, "What?" So I had to run around and get every lamp in the apartment and put it in front of me. And I had enough to go live. And it looked ridiculous. Like, literally, we took the lamp shades off so that we could get as much light as possible. But you have to be flexible like that. And that's when I said, okay, point taken, I need a second ring light. So those things happen. I even have a backup internet. So we have a different internet because every corporate apartment has a internet connection, and I can wire in, which is really good. But I also use a separate network, which is T-Mobile, and I literally carry this around because I could be in an apartment that doesn't have good internet, or the internet could go out. So I like to have that second internet there as well. And
Mm.
sometimes I'll use Speedify and I'll like switch to a different internet, or sometimes even a hotspot on my phone just using cellular. So those are some of the things that I've had.
Yeah, I think that's great tips there. And I've used Speedify as well, which allows you to combine two or more connections together. I've even got a little 4G router, which I can plug a little SIM card in, which is a little bit better than using a phone. But even a phone is really good for tethering. I've only done that when it's been like mission critical stuff, but it's always good to have these backups. So for people, for beginners, people just getting started, what's the one piece of equipment that you'd advise beginners to invest in first?
A good microphone. It's important to have good quality sound. I have found that people even if your lighting's not that great, and it's really important to at least have some natural sunlight if you don't have a light, but it's the sound. People can be forgiving if you look fuzzy or even if you stutter a little bit, but if your sound is off, people will bounce. So make sure you invest in a good quality microphone and wear those headphones. It doesn't look like I'm wearing headphones because they're behind me, but I have headphones in so that there's no feedback from me talking into the computer here.
Love it. Oh, you're saying all the right things. This is what we talk about. Awesome. Well, it is time for the quick fire round. So I'm going to ask you a series of questions. Let's see how many you can answer. There's no right or wrong. It's just opinions and everything. So let's see if I can get the tech working. We're not live, but we are kind of... Right, here we go. So, I didn't actually check this. Hold on. Oh, there we go. Right. So the first question is... Acoustic panels, aesthetic choice, or acoustic essentials if you have them on your wall. Do you need them?
No.
No. Standing desk or sitting desk? Does it matter?
No.
Okay. What's best, going solo or with guests?
Either or.
Okay, cool. Webcam or fancy camera?
Webcam.
Awesome. Sitting or standing when you go live?
Sitting.
Okay. Come on, next one. It's not clicking. Mac or PC?
Oh, Mac.
Ring lights, good or bad?
Good.
Headphones, yay or nay? You've already answered that, really.
Yay, times 2.
Okay, when you're working, background music, mood setter or distraction?
Ooh, distraction.
And teleprompter, yes or no?
No.
Wow, I think that's 10. You did really well. You might have leapt into the lead with that one. You were very good. You answered them quickly. I will find out where you are in the leaderboard. But thank you, Gillian. It's been awesome to have you on the show. I can't wait to have you back. We're going to have you back to talk about confidence, communication, your journey with that. But how can people find out more about you? Where can they connect with you? And tell us about your new book.
Ooh, okay. So you can find me on LinkedIn. That's my jam. That's where I can be found. I love it. Just look for Gillian Whitney. Video Easy Peasy is my handle. And I just did a new book called LinkedIn Live Guest Mastery. Oh, I'm not talented at this. And it is about building your brand and attracting more clients as a LinkedIn Live guest. And I highly recommend that for people because it's the easy peasiest way to get started with live video. Just be a guest.
Yeah, and I do you know what? I think being a guest for any live shows or being on podcasts, it's great because you don't have to worry about any of the tech. You just turn up. Obviously, you got to know what you're talking about, but apart from that, it's great. Thank you so much, Gillian. It's been great to have you in the show. It's awesome. Can't wait to have you back on. But that is, yeah, we're out of time. Thank you so much for plugging us into your ears and for watching. And until next time, I encourage you to level up your impact, authority, and profits through the power of Confident Live Video. See you soon. Bye.
Thanks for watching the Confident Live Marketing Show with Ian Anderson Gray.
Make sure you subscribe at iag.me/podcast so you can continue to level up your impact, authority, and profits through the power of live video.
And until next time,
Toodaloo.